This athletic event is conducted under the regulations of the Illinois High School Association and Middle-High Conference. We encourage you to demonstrate good sportsmanship throughout this contest, no matter what your loyalty may be. The throwing of any objects onto the playing area is strictly forbidden. The officials are authorized to take appropriate action to ensure the safety of all. Thank you for your cooperation.
come the Raiders.
Rebound by Brewer. Again, quickly down the court, and one thing that the Panthers do is they do rotate guys in and out. They that run and gun offense, keeping guys fresh. To the basket is Stewart, off the mark, goes out of bounds and off of East Peoria Panther basketball underneath the basket.
East Peoria in a man-to-man defense, then Panthers kind of run that high post offense, looking to run cutters off of the guy if they can get it to him at the high post. Patterson will inbound, finds Jamari White. White drives baseline. Pass deflected out of bounds.
Officials for tonight's contest, Don King, Isaiah Doty, and Dan McCann.
Should be a good crew that keep the game under control.
Seen Don King quite a few times already this season. Very familiar with this Panther basketball team.
Stewart guarded close, or Patterson guarded closely. Gets it off to Stewart up top. Panthers again looking for the dribble penetration, the high post cutters. Inside, Jamari White.
Strong to the basket.
Got an official's timeout here.
Oh, it looks like not a player with blood on him, but rather an official.
I don't know what happened over there on that sideline, but I hope our fans behave themselves.
Yes. Hey, when a player gets blood on a uniform, it's maybe easy to swap out a top, maybe not so much for an official, but it looks like
I don't know. I've seen those guys come in. They carry bags. I think they have like a week's worth of officiating stuff with them when they come in. But Kyle Gennard taking care of things medically as he always does here at the Panther games.
As soon as I rattle off their names, we've got an official injury. So, all right, East Peoria basketball, 5-0 Panthers with the early lead.
Free throw line pull up off the mark.
Vanderheit the rebound, outlet to Brewer.
White thought about the three from the left corner, drives baseline. All the way to Patterson. Good ball movement by the Panthers. Brewer thought about it up top.
Two and a half minutes into the contest. 5-0. Panthers in front. White.
15-footer from the elbow off the mark. And the Raiders push back right away. Three from the corner off the mark. Rebound no good.
And we are going to get a Panther foul. Jamari White. That's his first foul, the first foul of the contest.
Raiders had good inside position off the miss on the first three and missed the first putback, and we're going to get the second. Jamari picked up the foul.
That's East Peoria's first basket of the game. That's Justin Page. 5-2 the score.
Brewer finds Stewart left side, gets it to White up top, high post. You mentioned the Panthers looking to push, probably with their size. That's kind of style is probably going to suit them well, and the number of players that Coach Schermerhorn tries to use, playing that up tempo. But on the half court, they're definitely having patience and taking their time, looking for a good shot in the right spot for the right shooters.
Stewart, the three off the mark, bit long. Rebound Page, brings it up court, guarded by Patterson. Strong move to the hoop. He's fouled on the way to the basket. He'll step to the line for two shots.
Brewer trying to pick up the charge there for the Panthers and got there a little late. Page will get a couple free throws. Might have a clock issue here.
Yeah, I was just about to mention 3:31 left in the first quarter, but looks like we're going to perhaps put a little more time on the clock here. And it looks like we're going to have our first substitution of the contest as well by both teams. Landon Shelton, a good-looking junior, had a strong start to the game on Tuesday before getting into a little bit of foul trouble. Page at the line for the first of two. First one is off the mark. So Andre Lewis into the contest for the Panthers. And Caleb Greco checks in for the Raiders. Second of two coming up here for Page, and it's good.
5-3 cuts the Panther lead to 2. Lewis brings it up for the Panthers. Guarded closely. Again, the pressure by the East Peoria Raiders on the half court really seems to be taking away a lot of things.
Lewis's pass to White off his fingertips and out of bounds. Lewis had a real strong game in the sophomore game as the sophomores won earlier 76-31.
But that game's over. This is a varsity game. So things, the baseline drives, a couple of times the Panthers have taken it on the baseline, and East Peoria's doing a nice job rotating, taking away that pass.
White goes for the steal. East Peoria's shot is off the mark, rebounded by White. He leads the Panthers in rebounding with just over 5 per game.
Jamari's one of those guys that Coach Sherman loves to have, and they always seem to find he's undersized but plays so hard and is so effective around the basket. He's a smart player. Vanderhyde outside, Stewart wide open for 3 from the wing. That has to be a missed defensive assignment there by the Raiders.
8-3, Panthers in front. Page with a shot off the mark. A.J. Reinders with a putback basket to make it 8-5. Jake Stewart with that three-pointer earlier. He turned an ankle in the game on Tuesday. Was in considerable pain, but was able to get back into that game. Looks just fine now.
Steal by the Raiders.
Shelton's pocket was picked, and Jack Dubois lays it in for 2.
Again, you've got, when you did the starting lineup, a lot of juniors and seniors here for the Raiders, and, those kids, when you've got that kind of experience in the varsity level, it sometimes comes to show against younger kids.
Oh, nice floater by Lewis for 2.
Builds the Panther lead back up to 3, 10-7.
Drive by Page through the lane as he's fouled by Shelton. Again, I mentioned he got into a little bit of foul trouble, so he'll need to be careful early on here. He's going to head to the bench. Brewer is back onto the court, and it looks like DeAndre Jackson. Yep, DeAndre Jackson also checks in. Patterson back into the contest, replacing Stewart. East Peoria inbound underneath the basket.
1:24 here in the opening period. We've seen a lot of kids getting in, kind of getting their feet wet, so to speak, here early in the game. Looks like a lot of the Raider offense is going to go through Page tonight, that's for sure. Again, strong to the basket. Panthers trying to get there to take the charge, just kind of sliding underneath. Walking foul there on Vanderhyde.
Did not get his feet set on time. He does lead the Panthers in charges taken with 9, but not that time. Page
ties it up.
We didn't mention that basket by Page was good and completes the 3-point play. It's a 10-all game.
Patterson's pass deflected. Here come the Raiders. 2-on-3. Vanderheit there that time. Took the charge for the Panthers.
Stewart and Jamari White back into the contest.
Final 42 seconds here in the opening period.
That is the first foul on East Peoria. That was on Naz Jackson.
You know, Jackson had a little pull-up. If he pulls up on balance, you know, he's probably not going to charge, but good cut by Vanderheit to the basket. Strong and draws another foul on the Raiders. Good read by Jake Stewart after Vanderheit had come to the high post and then sort of slid to the baseline, and good pass led him to the basket. Good shot fake, draws a foul.
That foul is on Caleb Grieco, his first, team second. Vanderheit at the line to shoot 2. First one is good. DeAndre Jackson, Bernie Wynn, and Shelton back in for the final 27 seconds and change.
I'm sure Coach Shermort's trying to save fouls for some of those starters, especially those kids that can pick them up in bunches. You know, Jamari around the basket can tend to get them sometimes. And
second free throw by Vanderheit is short. Rebound to Page. He'll bring the ball up. Looks like they'll hold for that last shot. 14 seconds.
I can imagine Page is asking everyone to get out of the way, so there's no one there to take a charge when he beats his guy up top. A little ball screen, drive, pull up, 15-footer off the mark. 3 seconds. Shelton
Half-court shot, and it's short, so we'll go head into the second quarter with the Panthers in front by 1, 11-10.
Well, Jerry, it's like you said, you know, you expected the Raiders, they've always been a tough matchup for us and always played us tough, and you know, we're seeing that tonight.
I want to give a little bit of a shout out to our production crew. We've got a production crew.
That's nice.
Yeah,
it's not us.
It's first for us for sure, and it's really nice to have some guys right next to us helping us out. Alex Calhoun, Andrew Crawford, Tyson Lehman, and Ethan Purry. Helping us out here, and you'll probably also notice that you are looking at the court from a different side, and we've got a 2-shot production, so that is really exciting. So we are stepping the game up a little bit. If you've been joining us for any of the streams so far this season, thanks again for joining us tonight, and hopefully we'll add a little bit of value here with our play-by-play and color commentary as well.
Well, as we've done this over the last few years, of course, it started with COVID when people couldn't come to the gyms, and you know, we've had so many people thank us, people that are out of town and can't come to games, or people that for whatever reason, you know, can't make it to the game. You know, they find a way to watch it on their phone, watch it on a tablet, their computer, whatever, and you know, we've had grandparents from other states thank us, and so, you know, we're glad to do it, and it's a lot of fun for us. So Raiders start with the ball and get a little travel. So the Panthers will get possession with that 1-point lead.
Opening seconds of the second quarter, Panthers with an 11-10 advantage.
Again, East Peoria, tough man-to-man defense. I mean, it's good steal by the Raiders. Up ahead, Page strong to the basket, nice pass.
Beautiful pass
to Du Bois. A little wraparound bounce pass. Du Bois was trailing. Nice play by the Raiders. Gives them a 12-10 lead. Brewer off the dribble penetration, shot off the mark.
Rebound to Du Bois. Page, Reinders, pull up. Basket Basket counts. Okay. And the Panther foul. So count the East Peoria Raider baskets. Foul is going to go against Jake Stewart, team's 5th.
That's I don't know, that's almost a no call. He was there, but as Reinders came down, he made contact, and I'm guessing they said that he walked up under him, maybe, possibly, but Lewis back in the game for the Panthers. He penetrates strong to the basket, off the glass and in. Andre Lewis with a nice move down the left side of the court. Even got some contact and made the little floater.
Corner, 3-ball by Reinders, off the mark. Out of bounds, possession, East Peoria.
Again, off the dribble penetration, you know, the Panthers sort of in a scramble to rotate and cover up, and then they get a second chance opportunity. Jamari hadn't knocked it out of bounds, probably would have been a layup for the Raiders. Page long Euro step to the basket and up and in.
That was a beautiful basket. Yeah, early on, my impressions of Justin Page very favorable.
Lewis off through the double team, gets it to Vanderhyde. Strong to the basket, off the mark.
He's fouled on the way up, and he'll head back to the free throw line.
Andre Lewis did a nice job off the ball screen. The Raiders are kind of doing what we call jumping the ball screen, and they can turn it into a double team, and he sort of split the double and got the ball inside to Vanderhyde. Vanderhyde drew the foul, makes the first. Brewer replaces Patterson for the Panthers. Panthers trail by 3 here. Just under 6.5 to go in the second period. Braden Vanderhyde makes them both.
17-15 East Peoria in front by a basket. Page across the timeline.
Ooh. I always hated when kids pick the ball or stop their that close to the line. It's so easy to dribble it on the line. Stewart, good pressure on the basketball. Page guarded by Lewis. Raiders spread the floor, allow that dribble penetration to be effective. Du Bois strong to the lane. Shot in the lane, off the mark.
Brewer with the rebound, and he's fouled as he tries to clear the ball. Looks like it's Cam Maples picks up the foul. That's his fourth team foul on the Raiders.
Stewart free throw line, kick out Brewer. His 3 just off the mark. Vanderhyde with a good offensive rebound. Stewart down the lane, kick out. White thought about it. Ball up top, Lewis. Resets for the Panthers. Dribble penetration. Finds Brewer again, left wing.
And it's good.
Not going to miss 2 in a row very often.
Micah Brewer with his first basket of the game. He is the Panthers' leading scorer on the season, averaging a little over 12 points per game.
Du Bois working on Stewart in the post. Vanderhyde doesn't handle the rebound. White comes out of there with that rebound.
Lewis down the court, finds Brewer.
Brewer inside Vanderhyde, post move, little fade away, good.
Oh, that's
nice
a nice
move, Braden Vanderhyde.
I like that move, keep that up.
Yeah, Panthers had been using the high post. That time they got it a little bit more about halfway down the lane. Page pull up, no good. Raiders with another offensive rebound.
Wade Jackson with the basket for the Raiders, and it's a 20-19 Panther lead.
Panthers are kind of doing a little bit of standing on the defensive boards. They're just kind of expecting the ball to come to them, and the Raiders are going and getting it right now.
DeAndre Jackson back into the game, replacing Vanderhyde. Yeah, for whatever the Panthers are lacking in size or experience, they certainly make up for their hustle, their hard-nosed play.
You would expect nothing less from the Panthers, though. I mean, that's
they wouldn't be out there otherwise.
No, they hang their hat on their efforts and their attention to detail. What they lack maybe in size, quickness, they will make up for in their preparation and their effort. So
pure determination, definitely.
Jamaria White with the ball up top, strong drive to the basket, draws the foul out top.
.353 to go in the second quarter. Panthers hanging on to a 1-point lead. They'll inbound the ball, Patterson.
Brewer in the backcourt.
Last foul was on Chown, his first.
Jackson drives, slipped to the basket, missed the first one, got the rebound and put it up and in. Again, good read by the Panthers off that kind of double ball screen. The first person will sometimes slip to the basket. Great pass leading him to the basket. And he stayed with it when he missed the first one and got the second one in. Tough pass, good catch inside by the Raiders. Rebound Brewer. 22-19, 3-point lead by the Panthers. Brewer pulls up, takes it to the basket.
All the way, off the mark, out of bounds. It will be East Peoria ball. Andre Lewis back in. He'll replace Brewer. Short break for Vanderheit as he re-enters for Jackson.
I think one of the things Coach Schermerhorn's probably going to try to do is kind of keep fresh people on Page. As much as Page is going to have the ball and dictate the game, I think they're really going to try to keep fresh legs on him a lot.
And he has real good size at 6'5", so he is a real tough matchup, and certainly anybody guarding him will need some help. Turnover by Lewis, and misses the dunk.
Andre Lewis a little careless with the ball, trying to dribble through an awful lot of Raider defenders and lost it. Looking for the Panthers, that Page missed the dunk.
They did get the rebound. And the basket is no good by Jackson. Wade Jackson.
Now, good dribble penetration by Jackson there, but he tried to stop and drug that pivot foot. Thought he was going to get away with it. It was a little bit of a late whistle, but he did travel.
The student section making an early appearance here. They had a strong showing all season long, and a little overrated chant there.
Must be Christmas sweater night, would be my guess. Vanderheit left side. His pass deflected, stolen by the Raiders.
Pull up by Mabels is good. That'll make it a 22-21 1-point Panther advantage.
Again, the Raiders' defensive pressure, I mean, they've not backed down. They've played 7 or 8 kids as well. Vanderheit strong to the basket. His layup, up and in. Good move by Braden Vanderheit. It drives all the way down the lane. Build that Panther lead back up to 3.
7 points early on here for Braden.
90 seconds left here. Page tries to drop it off inside. Stolen by Stewart.
Landon Shelton. Oop. Errant pass, trying to find Lewis. Throws it away.
Panthers get a turnover and then turn it over right back. I know that's something Coach Schermerhorn won't be happy with at halftime. I'm sure it'll be mentioned, but Again, the Raiders sort of spread the floor. You got 2 post players, but they're really just looking to screen.
Jack Dubois with the basket to make it again a 1-point game, 24-23. Final 49 seconds.
Andre Lewis finds Jackson. He finds Stewart right side. Works it around to Shelton. Shelton will bring it back out. Panthers may hold for 1 here, but again, this is where the Raider defensive pressure may force the Panthers into a mistake. They've kind of picked their pocket a couple times when they've been careless after they've driven by.
Oh, and right there, turnover on Clavo.
Dribble drive and lose your balance and fall down with a basketball. The official doesn't really have much of a choice.
So likely it'll be East Peoria here with that final shot attempt of the first half. Try to grab that halftime lead. Again, 1 point, Panther advantage 24-23. East Peoria inbounds near their own bench. Page directing traffic.
10 seconds here. Raiders kind of in a lull, trying to wait for Page to get it back. His 3 from the right wing off the mark.
So at the buzzer, that shot is off, and the Panthers take a 1-point lead heading in to the locker room. So a real entertaining first half. It's like Justin Page leading all scorers with 8 points, looks like. But Jeff, you're in the locker room with the Panthers. You'd be making what adjustments at this point?
Well, I mean, I think they've done a good job defensively. They've, the shots that Page has made, really, for the most part, have been tough shots. I mean, It's not like he's gotten easy looks. I mean, even like that last one, coming off of a staggered screen there, and he's shooting a 3, falling away, and hand in his face. I mean, he's a good player, and athletically, he's going to get some shots that you defend well. So, I think defensively, I think they've got to be happy. I would say the one thing they're probably going to talk about is, hey, we got to take care of the basketball. Some of the turnovers have led to easy baskets on the other end and taking away scoring opportunities when you don't even get a shot. So, those kinds of things, I'm sure some of the things that Coach Schermerhorn will talk to players about.
Yeah, but give East Peoria credit. They've got some real strong ball pressure and guarding as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not like we've been careless. I guess I shouldn't use that word, but I mean, it's been due to their pressure. I mean, they have guarded us hard, and they have been there and made us work, and then we've made some poor decisions at times. But Panthers are young, and those are the kinds of things that young teams do.
Well, let's take a little bit of a break here as we've got that halftime entertainment with the Pantherettes. And we'll be back for second half of the Panthers East Peoria Raiders. It's 24-23, the Panthers in front. All right, we are back for second half action of the Washington Panthers as they host the East Peoria Raiders at the half. It's the Panthers in front by just a point. It's 24-23. Panthers with the lead, and Jeff, a well-played first half, entertaining first half for certain for both teams.
Well, I think it's exactly what we expected to see, was a tough defensive battle, and both teams have kind of had little runs, maybe 2-3 baskets in a row. The other teams answered. It's been defensive plays by the Raiders. It's been some defensive rebounds by the Panthers. So it's been a good game. I mean, it's exactly what we expected, like I said.
We'll get you that second half starters in just a moment when they get put up on that scoreboard. This is one of several games that we'll be streaming for the 22-23 season. We've got 3 of them next week.
Yeah.
Got a girls-boys doubleheader on Tuesday as the Panthers take on the Dunlap Eagles, the girls, at 5 o'clock, and then we'll follow up with the boys taking on the Eagles at 7 p.m. And then Wednesday nights, we'll have the Lincoln Rail Splitters in here at 7 p.m. tip-off for that one. So busy week next week of streaming action. And then once 23 comes around, we'll have several games as well.
Yep, absolutely. We're excited to do it, and this is nice having the production crew here running cameras and telling us when we're on and all that, us not having to flip switches.
That's what got us in most trouble is when we had to run the technology. You'd think I'd be better at that, but apparently not.
I'm definitely not, so you were on your own with that. So
looks like it's the Panther starters in the second half as well. 3 Stewart, 5 Brewer, 14 Patterson, 20 White, and 40 Vanderheits.
Like the Raiders are back with their starters as well. Panthers will get possession of the ball here to start the second half. Brewer guarded closely. Turns it over, double dribble again. There's that defensive pressure from the Raiders. He dribbled the ball down there to the baseline, kind of got hung up and lost his balance and put it on the floor again. Double dribble.
Let's see if the Panthers have maybe a different answer for Page in the second half here. Hit 8 points in that first half. Drives, kicks it outside to Dubois, and Dubois with the basket to give the Raiders the early second half lead, 25-24.
Page gave it up to get a handoff back, dribble drive, and the Panthers again had to help. And Dubois, I'll tell you, that's a nice high school basketball move. Just a one-bounce dribble, right-hand dribble, pulls up with a little 12-footer in the lane. That shot's kind of a lost art. Most kids like to hang out outside the arc and shoot it from out there, but good cut, good move by Dubois. Vanderheit way out top.
Not a lot of three-point attempts by the Panthers in the first half. 189 entering the contest.
Brewer strong to the basket off the rim. Raiders answer. Here's their quick drive. Almost stolen by Stewart. Dubois again. Free throw line jumper off the mark. Offensive rebound. Raiders tip Raiders.
I think that was 10 Reinders with that basket.
Panthers advance the ball quickly up the court. Patterson's 3 off the mark. Vanderheit tried to tip the rebound away from Reinders and picked up a foul. It's his second. Lewis into the game here for the Panthers. 6:24 mark of the third quarter.
He replaced Brewer.
He'll have the assignment on Page. Good drive by the Raiders. Again, it's the offensive boards that are kind of hurting the Panthers right now. Coach Schermerhorn's going to take a timeout, I'm sure, to talk about the defensive rebounding situation.
Saltone on that last basket for the Raiders. They take a 29-24 lead. And an early timeout here to get things corrected for the Panthers.
Well, it's 6 straight here to start the quarter, and 2 of them have been offensive rebounds. So, again, it's dribble penetration by the Raiders when they dribble drive. The Panthers, like we talked about, are kind of getting that scramble or rotation mode to cover up people. And then when the shot goes up, you're trying to find your guy to check out, and your guy's not next to you, and somebody else is. And, the Raiders have done a nice job pushing to the glass. One thing I'll say about Page so far is, being a dominant player on the court, he will give the ball up. It's not like he, refuses to give the ball up to a teammate. He'll give it up to get it back or give it up to create a shot for someone else. And Andre Lewis creates an over and back. That's that play we talk about where kids dribble right across the line and stop, and then, have nowhere to go, dribbles back across the line. Kind of an unforced turnover. Again, young player trying to go to his left. That's a strong hand, and the Raiders have a scouting report.
Pass out of bounds off of the East Peoria player, and Panthers get the ball back.
Good drive down the lane, and Reinders made a great cut to the basket. Pass was probably not in the spot where he expected it. Patterson, nice cut to the basket by Jamari White. He draws a foul.
Hard foul on Jamari. That'll be on 40. Brody Wendell. I believe that was 40 if he's on the court.
30.
Looks like a 30. Chone picks up the foul, his second. First one up and in for Jamari.
Again, it's that kind of, Panthers are going to set that ball screen, and they've used that a little bit to kind of out high, but that screener sometimes will slip to the basket. White makes them both. Raider lead cut to 3.
Page kicks it off to Mabels. Page now covered by Jamari White.
That's a different matchup for the Panthers. I don't think Jamari's drawn that assignment yet tonight.
And Jake Stewart forces the travel. Reinders.
Yeah, the Raiders were really patient on offense that time. They were looking for something. And just a little careless travel there on the wing. Good pressure by Stewart, probably created it. Andre Lewis up top, finds Stewart. Stewart looks. He finds Patterson over on that
wide
left corner.
For 3, and it's good.
That'll tie it up.
Couple of threes on the night for Patterson. 29 all. And Vanderheid's going to pick up his 3rd foul here.
2 of his 3 have been trying to take charges.
And he'll come out for Landon Shelton. One of the best plays of the season I've seen Braden the other night. Loose ball near half court. Defender and him are chasing the ball. He dives, tips it back. 3-pointer by East Peoria. He goes crashing into the first row of the bleachers there. I thought he might have a concussion, but he actually tipped it off of the other team. Ball back to the Panthers. It was one of those hustle play that really epitomized the style of play from this team and from Braden.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've seen that kind of effort and things from Braden in the past, and he is a tough-nosed player for the Panthers. Long pass almost intercepted by Page. Raiders with a 3-point lead. Patterson drive to the basket, all the way to the rim and up and in. Kind of good patience by the Panthers that time, taking care of the basketball. Shooter Patterson's made a couple. So I was talking about Page right there. hard to the drive down the lane, draws 2 defenders. Du Bois makes a great cut to the basket. Patterson tries to recover, tries not to let him get the shot off, fouls him, but he gets it up and in.
Everybody in the gym except Du Bois knew that thought that ball was going to be a shot by Page. That was a pretty play there. Du Bois to the line, complete the 3-point play. And basket is up and in, 35-31. Raiders in front by 4.
Raiders have some nice balanced scoring. They got 10, 9, and 8 up there on the board. So, it's kind of been a team effort by them. When you kind of thought maybe it would be one single player that you'd have to watch. He's done a nice job creating for his teammates. There's a deflection and a steal.
Oh, and Page loses his footing and goes to the deck, and the ball goes out of bounds. I think he's complaining about that logo on the floor maybe being a little slick.
Unfortunate for the Raiders. That would have been a basket for him there. After the steal.
Panthers catch a break.
They trail by 4. 3 minutes here to go in the third period. Raiders with a little bit of pressure. Andre Lewis.
And he's fouled in the backcourt by Mabels. Mabels picks up his second. Second team foul the second half on East Peoria.
Andre Lewis up the right side, looking to cross over to go left, finds White at the high post. Panthers look to cut off of that. Stewart down, Lewis off the screen. Oh, good hustle by the Raiders. They turn it right back over. Brewer finds Stewart. Stewart with the 3, and it's in.
Big basket there by Jake Stewart. His second 3 of the night. Now, what a turn of events there. We turn the ball over. Yeah. East Peoria comes down and scores, but yet they turn it over, and then Jake hits that 3.
Well, and they had the steal where they probably were going to get a basket, slip and fall. Ball goes out of bounds. So. Lewis to Stewart.
Oh,
pass by Patterson on the baseline. Great pass, Jake Stewart.
Terrific pass, finding that cutting Patterson. Big third quarter for Gabe Patterson. 7 points already with 2 minutes left to go in the third. Travel call. Travel on Chown.
Panthers will have a chance to add to the 1-point lead here, 36-35. 2-minute mark in the third period.
Nice run here by the Panthers to close out the third quarter.
Jamari White drives the baseline, finds Stewart.
Quick trigger off the mark. Panthers with the rebound. Micah Brewer back to Stewart. Reset that offense.
Micah Brewer at the high post. Panthers cutting off of that. Back to Andre Lewis. He finds Patterson again under the basket.
If he would handle that a little bit more clean, it would have been another basket for the Panthers. Just went off his hands a little bit, and then he was quickly double teamed. The Raiders rotated hard there and doubled him and forced him to drag a pivot foot. DeAndre Jackson into the contest.
Replaces Micah Brewer for the Panthers.
Again, keeping those guys fresh. Vanderheit remains on the bench with 3 fouls. Save him for the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I would think you'll see him back in the fourth for sure. Again, there's a drive to the basket by the Raiders. Almost an offensive rebound. That's what's kind of created issues on the boards for the Panthers here so far in the first 3 quarters. Got under a minute. Panthers will have some patience here. They can take care of the ball. Andre Lewis drives. Not very patient with the ball. Raiders with the steal up ahead. Jamari White with the block.
Right. Off the backboard. Beautiful play right there.
Andre Lewis, does he have an answer? No. Off the glass. No good. Here comes Reinders back. Raiders coming back.
Final 30 seconds of the third quarter. Page.
Great hustle by Jamari White. That looked like a sure basket for the Raiders. He kind of slowed up to get it in, and Jamari got it clean before the ball got to the boards.
That fired up the student section off to our right.
Rebound Jackson. He gets it to Patterson. His long three-quarter score. Oh, off the rim.
Nice three-quarter shot there by Patterson. Good rebound by DeAndre Jackson. And we hang on for that 1-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. So that definitely could have gone a whole different direction.
Oh, yeah.
In the third, a lot of opportunities really on both ends for someone to take a big lead, but the turnovers, slipping and falling, some misfortune there, but we'll take that 1-point lead heading into the fourth.
Well, the Raiders had that 5-point lead. They scored the first 6 out of the locker room to start the third period, and a couple of offensive rebounds, and then the Panthers kind of did a better job on the glass after that. So Coach Schimmerhorn has to like that adjustment that they made during the timeout, but forced a couple turnovers and big shot by Jake Stewart on that kind of three, sort of almost like off a scramble in a sense, but gave the Panthers some confidence. But 1-point lead here going into the fourth. And like we said, we expected it to be a tight, tough played game, and that's exactly what we've gotten.
Got to ask you about the experiment with the shot clock, the 30-second shot clock that we saw at the Tournament of Champions. Your observations or your opinion of a shot clock at the high school level in Illinois?
I know there are people, I am old school. So, granted, I don't like to watch a 6-2 game where somebody holds it for 4 quarters, but by the same token, I just think you're going to invite some kids to try to do things with the basketball that they're not capable of because, hey, the shot clock's running down, we got to get a shot. They're going to start taking bad shots. And that's not what we as coaches or players trying to teach kids. Page with a 3 there from the left top side of the key gives the Raiders a 2-point lead. I don't know. I mean, I understand from a fan standpoint they'll like it. There'll be more action. People will be running up and down the court shooting the basketball, but it would be something completely different for me to coach. I know that because I've never had one, and I don't know. I'd have to see it.
I've heard many times at the Tournament of Champions, you guys don't have a shot clock in Illinois? I was expecting to hear more states had a shot clock. Having a conversation with IHSA Executive Director Craig Anderson recently, only about 15 states have a shot clock in the country.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a majority by any means, but it may be coming. I mean, you're talking about there's some financial part. It's another person that has to be at the scorer's table to probably run that.
At the Tournament of Champions, we had a patched official running the shot clock, so that went pretty smoothly. I thought it would speed up the game. I did not feel like it sped up the game much, if at all.
Pages 3 off the mark. Raiders with a rebound and a foul on the Panthers. Vanderhyde will come back in here for Andre Lewis. Lewis had an unfortunate turnover here on the wing right in front of Coach Schimmerhorn in the last offensive possession. Again, it's just the Raider pressure. They're really getting after him. And there's the Panther pressure. Reinders throws the ball out of bounds.
As we discussed, Vanderhyde back onto the court for this fourth quarter. 6:40 to go in the fourth. 38-36 Raiders.
Ball screen, Jamari White slips it again. Inside, that'll tie it up. Good pass by Jake Stewart. You know, the Raiders are, like we said in the first half, they kind of are jumping that ball screen, sometimes trapping it even, and that kid on the ball screen is leaving so early to take the ball handler if he uses a screen. And Jamari and a couple of the other post players, Vanderheit, they've done a great job reading that, and they just cut straight to the basket. There's no help. If they do help, then they kick it out to shooters or they draw a foul. It's a simple play, but, you know, it's tough to defend.
Three-pointer.
Off the mark by Reinders. Rebound, Jake Stewart. Pushes ahead, Jamari White. Back to Stewart up top. That's going up.
Long three. It's good. Jake Stewart with three more.
One slow rotation. Push the ball up the court. Jamari finds him back. Raiders didn't match up initially in that sequence, and Jake Stewart buried it.
He was a good 3 or 4 feet beyond that top of the key three-point stripe. It's a timeout, East Peoria. It's a full timeout.
You know, Coach Gersnich's team has done such a good job on the defensive end of knowing where those shooters are, and we haven't gotten very many wide open looks. And, you know, I think maybe we got one right at the very beginning of the game. We get one there, and, you know, the Panthers will make those. You know, we've got some kids. We have several kids that can shoot the basketball, and you know, when good shooters are open, they tend to make them. So the key, don't leave them open if you're a defensive team.
Good to see Jake get that shooting stroke back.
Well, I'm guessing he probably leads the Panthers in assists tonight as well. I mean, you know, everyone knows Jake can shoot the basketball, and so they probably will try to take that away. But he is such a good team player. He's made great passes off that ball screen slip, and, you know, he's dribble penetrating, kicked out to people. So, you know, that's Jake Stewart in a nutshell. He's going to do whatever it takes for his team to win.
Again, a shout out to our production crew, giving us some different looks throughout this contest. Much better than that static view that we'd seen in the past.
Absolutely. You know, it's so nice that they're giving these kids the opportunity to do this kind of stuff. Inbound pass. Kahn tries to drive to the basket. Vanderheit takes a charge. I tell you, that's a gutsy play by Braden, because, you know, he's got 3 fouls. Just got back in the game, and 2 of his 3 are trying to take charges. That one, he was there and just kind of...
7 points and 2 charges taken by Vanderheit tonight, so he is making his contributions on both ends of the court. The ball was tipped out of bounds by East Peoria. Vanderheit inbounds to Stewart.
Raiders with a little bit of full court pressure here. 5 minutes to go. Reinders on Stewart. He finds Patterson. He drives to the lane. Kick out. Jamari White with that 3 from the corner.
Oh,
rolls out. Patterson with a great offensive rebound, reverse layup, and in. Gave Patterson great move.
Couple of reverse layups for Patterson on the night.
And drives again. He draws a foul on Patterson.
12 points on the night for Gabe Patterson. That's his 3rd personal. 5 team fouls on the Panthers. Chown is shooting. He makes the first of 2.
Up and in. Cuts the Panther lead to 4, 43-39 here. Second one short. Brewer with the board. Michael Brewer brings it across. Panthers will probably be patient here.
Just going to say, expect them to be patient.
Doesn't mean they won't look to score. It just means that they're going to be patient and get the shot they want. Whether it's an open 3 for a shooter, whether it's a cut to the basket, the ball screen slip. Stewart dribble penetrates strong to the basket. Block.
Ahead to Page. Patterson is there. He goes around him. And they're going to call the foul on Patterson. That's going to be his 4th. Sixteen fouls that
put East Peoria at the line for the rest of the game.
First one is up and in.
43-40 here, 4:26 left to go.
And both are good by Page. Just 5 second-half points for Page. Missed a dunk in the first half. Slipped on a breakaway earlier, so he could have more, but
yeah.
I think the Panthers have done a pretty good job on him.
Brewer guarded tight.
Ooh, we got a foul. That was real close to a 5-second call, but Panthers catch a break.
I think it was close to a 5 count, and I think he was close to picking up his pivot foot. It was not a good situation there for Micah out there on the logo. Coach Schermerhorn was trying to get a timeout.
Okay, so we'll have a 30-second timeout. Panthers in front by 2, 4:04 left in this contest. So this is going to go down to the wire.
Yeah. The Raiders only with 3 team fouls, so they can afford to really be aggressive on the half court. You know, they obviously don't want to foul a shooter, but you know, they can get up, pressure, get in the passing lane, you know, really pressure ball handlers, that kind of stuff, and not really worry about drawing, you know, picking up fouls and putting the Panthers on the line. Panthers will inbound from the side in front of our student section.
Andre Lewis, Jamari White, Landon, Micah Brewer, Jake Stewart, and Vanderheit on the court for the Panthers.
You know, we had a Brewer 3 for a while. I would see him. You know, I'm sure the Panthers, again, like we said, are going to be patient, but you know, this is where if you try to pressure, you get a little dribble penetration from somebody, lose a shooter.
He is guarded real closely by Page, though, just unable to get over
Vanderheit strong in the post, kicks it out. Stewart, there's the 3, inside out, off the mark. Lewis got a rebound. I think he got fouled by his own teammate. Du Bois all the way to the basket and in to tie it up. .322 here in the fourth quarter. We got a tie game, 43 all.
Then that balanced scoring throughout the East Peoria lineup.
Jake Stewart finds Andre Lewis. He gets it inside Vanderheit. Post move, there's Brewer. Off the mark. Rebound by the Raiders. Page will bring it up. Jamari White on the assignment on Page. I'm sure maybe Coach Schermerhorn's thinking the size of Jamari. You know, Jamari's a great athlete and has the size and strength to guard him that some of the other matchups haven't. Poked away there by Vanderheit. Micah Brewer comes out with it. Stewart, he'll stop and shoot the 3 from the wing. Off the mark, Vanderheit saves it inbound, Du Bois. Page ball screen against White. Left hand off the mark. Again, there's that size and strength. You know, a lot of the other players would have bounced off of Page there. Brewer will shoot the 3 off a Stewart assist.
Oh, that's good. Just his second basket of the night. Both of them are 3-pointers, and that came at an opportune time with just under 2 minutes left in the game. The Panthers take a 3-point lead, 46-43, and we have a timeout on the court.
Yeah, again, that's sort of off a, you know, Page drives to the basket with Jamari White on him, like we said. You know, his strength is a factor that just, you know, the smaller kids we've had on him, whether it's been Brewer or Patterson, where he was going to get that shot off a lot cleaner than he was against Jamari. And, you know, I'm sure he thinks maybe he got a little contact off of that, but the left-handed shot off the mark. Panthers push quickly. Jake Stewart dribbles into the lane and kicks it out. Brewer right there. You know, that's what we kind of expected those kids to do is be there and be ready to shoot it. You know, whether they've made 1 all night or whether they've made 4 or 5 all night.
Yeah, they've appreciated Jamari's game more and more as the season has gone on, and just his hard work, his work ethic, and you know, he is so valuable on both ends of the court. So real good start to the season for him, and
well,
it's a great play by him.
That's a tradition of a lot of Panther players we could mention from the past. That they don't just do one thing. They have to do things on both ends of the court to help their team, and they understand that. And Jamari hasn't guarded him for probably 3.5 quarters, and now draws the assignment in the guts of the game here, with 1:50 to go and a 3-point lead. Gets the ball screen there from Du Bois. Thought about shooting a 3.
Ball bounced around a little bit, but East Peoria picks it up. Jackson to Chown. He loses the handle of the ball. In trouble there. Panthers pick up the ball, but I think they knock it out of bounds. Or blocked by what is a very strong contingent of East Peoria fans.
Maybe we should ask them to sit down so we can see the corner.
Yeah, just
would that be a good idea?
Clear me an area so I can see that corner, please. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And that's good. That's good to see that, kids are here and enjoying the game. There's a time of the inbound pass stolen by Brewer.
Off of Reinder's hands, right to Brewer.
He tips it away. Brewer strong with it. Coach Schermerhorn will take the timeout. Brewer trapped there along the sideline, but a good play there by Micah Brewer.
Well-timed timeout there by Coach Schermerhorn with 1:14 remaining in the game. We've got the ball, 46-43, a 3-point Panther lead.
The bad part of that timeout is I think the Panthers are going to have the ball in a bad inbounding spot. It's either going to be out wide on the baseline or way down deep on the sideline. It's going to be on the sideline. Not much room to advance down, but long pass into the backcourt could easily be stolen. This will be a tough inbound here for the Panthers. 1:14 and a 3-point lead.
Again, as we mentioned, this is the first of several games that we'll be doing throughout the season. 3 games next week. Tuesday, we have a doubleheader, girls at 5 o'clock, boys at 7 p.m. as the Panthers take on the Dunlap Eagles. And then on Wednesday, as I glance over and I see Neil Alexander, the Lincoln head coach, scouting this game, it'll be the Panther boys taking on Lincoln at 7 p.m. Streaming both of those games, so we hope you join us again next week for more Panther basketball.
This is that time of the year. You hear them talk about it at the college level. It's finals week, and they didn't practice much, didn't do this. I know the Washington kids had finals starting today. They've got them on Monday and Tuesday as well, and it is a tough time when kids are focusing on classroom things and things that they need to do athletically, or, academically, so that they can continue to do them athletically. So, but, every school's in that situation. Not like it's just your kids. Page with the near steal. He gets it inside to Vanderheit. Kick out. Stewart passes up the 3 this time. And this is where the 3 team fouls by East Peoria kind of comes back to hurt them a little bit. They can be aggressive. Ooh. Andre Lewis with a nice pass to Jamari White. Threaded the needle. We got fouled on the drive.
Reinders with the foul. That's his first of the evening. Again, the Panthers will inbound. Still with a few fouls to give. 55 seconds and change.
Andre Lewis gets it left side. He drives.
Ooh, his arm is ripped away from his body there. Yeah. Hard foul.
The Raiders have done it a couple times where the Panther offensive player maybe has beaten them off the dribble, but they will wrap around, try to poke away from behind. Brewer inbounds there. Stewart pushed right away there by Reinders. That's the 6th team foul, so now the Panthers will be at the line. 51 seconds here with a 3-point lead. Panthers sideline inbound this time. Stewart in the corner. Dangerous spot. I'm sure the Raiders are really going to try to trap that right away. Brewer gets fouled there by Du Bois, so he'll go to the line.
It's his second foul of the night. Brewer is our best free throw shooter, so not ideal for East Peoria. 15 of 16 on the year. And these would be a couple of big free throws if he can sink these.
Jackson in the game as well. He replaces Vanderheit. Brewer makes a first. Makes it 2 possessions here. Unless we do something crazy like foul a 3.
And both are good, so for the Raiders, not the guy that you want to be fouling.
Patterson comes in on a defensive replacement for Brewer here. Page with the inbound, 40 seconds to go here in the 4th. Drive to the basket, Quan shot up and good.
And the Raiders will take a quick timeout after that basket, 48-45.
Good drive to the basket. That's one of those plays that a lot of times turns into a 3-point play opportunity, or the dribble drive and player trying to take a charge, some contact, but probably a pretty good no call there.
So you're East Peoria, do you let this play out a little bit, try to get a steal, or do you try to foul right away?
Well, I think you've got 2 opportunities here. I mean, obviously you can make a play on the inbound and maybe get a steal, force a turnover, whatever. But I think it's a situation too where you've also got the 10-second count, so you don't have to foul right away. You're down 3. Some coaches will want to foul right away, and maybe if it's a situation where you're not going to get the 10 count, you'll take the foul. But you got a situation where you do get a trap, you cover up a pass, make them throw it backwards. You might hold off to see if you can get that 10 count. So, both teams with 2 timeouts left. I'm sure Coach Shermorne's telling the kids that in the huddle right now that, hey, if you get hung up without your dribble, if no one's open, take a timeout. We don't want to turn it over here. 34.9, 3-point lead for the Panthers.
Panthers trying to hand East Peoria their first conference loss of the season. It's been a good game throughout. Tight throughout as well. Vanderheit to inbound.
Tough to get it in, tipped out of bounds. Good defensive pressure by the Raiders. Now, here's the important part of that is now that's a spot throw, and they can't run the baseline, which makes it a lot tougher from way out wide there to get this thing in. Brewer busts hard to the ball right away. They get it to Vanderheit. He's looking up the court.
And they'll call a foul on East Peoria. Reinder's not happy about that one.
And I don't know that he necessarily was trying to foul there, but I think sometimes officials anticipate that you're going to try to foul, and so they're going to call any kind of contact, or they'll say they're trying to control the game and all that. But that might have been one, like we said, where they were trying to get the 10 count or force somebody into a trap situation and get the turnover. Vanderheit's first free throw good. Again, build the Panther lead back up to 4.
8 points on the night for Vanderheit with a free throw coming up here. Again, big free throw. Put them up by 5 points. And the second one is up and off the mark. So it remains a 4-point game. Page
strong to the basket. Kicks it off.
Ooh, they're going to call Jake Stewart on a foul.
Page was trying to go strong to the basket, kind of lost his dribble, and Du Bois came out of there with it, and Jake reaching in trying to get it, draws a foul. That's a tough call. 19 seconds, 4-point lead. Brewer back in for Patterson.
And I suspect Du Bois is a good free throw shooter. And as I say that, the first one
off the mark,
off of East Peoria.
Good effort by the East Peoria player, then try to knock it off of Devon's or Braden's leg, and
I'm happy to say that once again the next time Du Bois gets up there. I'm sure he is a good free throw shooter.
Yes.
But if that jinxes him, I'll continue to that narrative.
Timeout by the Panthers here. 17.2 with a 4-point lead. Again, that's going to be a spot throw in. Can't run the baseline. People sometimes don't understand that does make it tougher to get it in. And I'm sure with the kind of pressure the Raiders are going to put on here.
We are camped out high atop Torrey Gymnasium, and to say it's difficult to see the scoreboard, how much exact time is left, what the home score is. to say the least, it's difficult.
Well, between the PE curtains for the balconies and the baskets folded up, it's like you said, we get about half of one scoreboard on one end and the other half we can see on the other end. So we apologize if we're a little slow sometimes as we kind of shift our focus from one end to the other to tell you the situation.
Ducking and moving. It's like I'm at Comiskey Park back in the day, or you at the old Municipal Stadium. I'm sure there was some obstructed view seats in that place too.
No, there were never any obstructed views because there were only 10,000 of us at the Cleveland games back then. Inbound to Brewer. Right away, he draws a foul.
Foul is on Jackson, his third.
Du Bois replaces him, an offensive-defensive substitution.
Again, that's the guy we want at the line is Micah Brewer. And the first one is perfect.
Jackson in here for Vanderheit. .50-45, make it 51-45.
4 for 4 at the free throw line tonight. Perfect, all in the closing moments here of the fourth quarter. Timeout.
Coach Schermerhorn uses his last timeout there. 14.4 seconds with a 6-point lead. East Peoria still has one timeout left, looks like. So, they don't necessarily have to take a three opportunity. I'm sure if they get a good look, they will. But, you can take a two and take your timeout, force a steal, force a turnover maybe.
Some games I would say that we have this in hand, but the feeling I get is that this is still in balance.
Yeah. So, it's high school basketball. I've seen things change in less than 14.4 seconds, believe me.
Hopefully more times in your benefit than not.
Well, you'd like to think so.
I'm looking forward to the stream of the girls' game on Tuesday.
Yeah, that'll be good to see Coach Buzz's team and see how they respond to the game from last night, a tough Normal community game. Page long three. Short, off the mark. Raiders almost with the rebound. It's loose on the floor. We've got a jump ball.
3.6 seconds remaining.
Looks like it'll be Panther possession.
And it looks like Du Bois came out of there a little wobbly.
Inbound here to Brewer. And he's fouled right away. You would think, I'm sure people are watching this, or people that are here are watching this and say, well, why do they let him catch it? And yet the Panthers are saying, get it to Micah Brewer on the inbound. They're going to run him off screens. They faked like he was going deep and came back to the ball. You got to respect the cut to the basket. So, it's easier said than done.
Micah is clutch here at the free throw line. And,
there you go.
Rare miss once again. And the
Page long three off the glass misses.
And the final score 52. 52. Again, that's the obstruction. 52-45 is your final score. The Panthers move to 5-3 on the season, 3-1 in Mid-Illini Conference play, and they hand the Raiders their first conference loss of the season. So,
well, and I'm sure that next time that these two teams meet down in East Peoria, that East Peoria will be ready. A 7-point game at home. We always used to say in the locker room that, hey, we're on the road, we're down 10 to start with. So, that can easily swing the other way when these two teams meet again. So, great effort by both teams tonight. A well-played game. And, I think both teams will walk out of here knowing that they were in a battle.
Absolutely. So, once again, I'll rattle off what is coming up for the Panthers. Tomorrow, they're at Streeter. So, Streeter visited the Torrey Gymnasium last year. We return the favor up at Streeter tomorrow night. And then it's Dunlap on Tuesday and Wednesday versus Lincoln. So, a busy stretch here. Not only on the basketball court, but academically as well, as finals are taking place this week. our streaming schedule, we will be back on Tuesday for the girls-boys doubleheader. So a 5 p.m. and a 7 p.m. Boys-girls doubleheader. So that one should be fun. And then we'll stream the following night as Lincoln comes to town. And that is a 7 p.m. tip-off here at Torrey Gymnasium. So it's been a fun one, Jeff. Glad to have you next to me again for Panther basketball.
And again, thank you to the Panther students and their class and their video presentation tonight, because it makes our job a lot easier to just kind of call the game. So.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the added dimension of the stream tonight. Alex Calhoun, Andrew Crawford, Tyson Lehman, and Ethan Perry helping us out here and doing a terrific job to make us look good. So, again, 52-45 is your final score. The Panthers victorious. Thanks for joining us, and we will hopefully have you back here joining our next streaming on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everybody.